So, what you want to talk about today?
So today, I really just had like questions about kind of like I guess it could be like the ancestral realm or whatever. But most of my questions was like when you was talking to the one lady earlier about like when she has contact with her relatives that have passed on, um, like how like that disincarnate like being you can't always see them, but like you can kind of see that they're there and
Hmm.
stuff. Um, like with your mind's eye. So like boom, when I don't know even how old I was, but I was like a really young kid. Um, and I had like this instance where like I seen this like big like dark like figure in like my hallway because I used to sleep in the bed with my mom when it was just like me and her before my siblings and stuff. So like at night she used to put like on like movies and stuff for me to like fall asleep to. But I don't know, I've always been like a night owl. So like I always would just stay up like after she would go to sleep and I would just be up. So this one particular night I just like looked over into the hallway and that's when like I seen like the figure and it didn't do anything or like say anything, but as a kid I had to be like 3 or 4 because I remember just thinking as a kid like when I seen it like, oh snap, that's my dad, because that's what it looked like the shape and everything, it looked like my dad. So I was just like, oh snap, like I'm supposed to be asleep. And I remember like I just laid down, but whatever, like time went on. And then as I got a little bit older, I never had like my grandfathers around, but I always would ask about them. And I learned that like my dad's dad had transitioned very early. I think my dad was like 3 or 4 when he passed. So like when they were telling me, and I was like a little bit older than that instance had happened, but I was still kind of young. And I remember when they told me and like they were showing me pictures of him, like the first thing that like came into my mind was like
They show you pictures of.
of my grandfather.
Okay.
And my grandfather literally looks like my dad's like twin. Like it's so crazy, but they literally look like twins. So like when they were showing me like pictures of him, I'm like, oh snap, like that looks like what I seen in the hallway. But like I never told anybody that. Like I've never told really anybody about that because like I've talked to you before, like about my family. Like they don't really play that type of stuff. They gonna pray it out of you. So like I always like will kind of keep stuff like that to myself. And as I got older, I feel like I've just kind of like almost done it to myself, but I've kind of lost the ability, kind of like to see stuff like that. But I always still can feel it. So like even like in my adult life, like I live by myself now, but like once I moved by myself, like when I first started living here, like I used to like I don't know, like I could just feel that like there was another presence, and I would have stuff like that as a kid happen. When I would tell like my mom or tell
And you
like
think
people
it's
I was close
gone
to,
now?
it's not really gone, but the ability to see it, I guess, like because as a kid, when I would like tell them like it's something in the room with me, like to me, I could like see it, and it felt like there really was like another like person or something there, and they would just like as a kid, like it's just the dark or like you're just whatever. So like they would just tell me like to say your prayers, all that type of stuff. So like I feel like as I got older, I just tried to like rationalize it more. But there would still be like just random instances, even in my adult life now, where I'm like, I can't rationalize like the feeling that I have. And then like it made me think of what you were telling the lady that like we can't always see it with our like eyes in the 3D, but your mind's eye can still see it.
Yeah.
So like I guess my question was more so like with the being that I feel like is my grandfather, what do you think is like the advice if you feel like the energy isn't like good or like isn't like neutral? Like, because I guess to preface that, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. But to preface that, the only other person I've told about like that instance with that figure was this girl that had given me a reading. She was like a family friend, and this was a few years ago. But I remember like telling her that, and I just asked her like, "What, you like? What is that?" And like I don't know, her reaction kind of had scared me a little bit, but
Okay. Okay.
she,
Okay. Slow down. Slow down. Now you're starting to be all over the place. Come,
I'm
bring it back.
sorry.
Bring it back. Bring it back. I don't care about your friend. Go back to the question. that you was finna tell me that your friend took you off of.
Okay, well, I guess the question really is like, how do you know if like you can't see these things? How do you know like if they're good or bad, and like what to do about
Okay,
that? Like,
first of all, the only thing bad is what you say is bad. If it's your grandfather, he ain't come to do nothing but look out for you.
right,
9 out of 10. All right, the only thing that you got to worry about of him watching over you is what was his vices, because those are your weaknesses. Other than that, and then as soon as you conquer those weaknesses, you clean up his karma because you didn't live it out. You conquer his demons for him. Rather than that, it ain't no demon with no horns coming out the ground. Demons. The
right,
demons is those things that's negative energy that somebody in your family couldn't conquer. So they passed it down for one of the descendants to conquer. That's the demon. The daemon. It's a thought form that needs to be slain. It's an egregore in the family's collective consciousness that somebody in this life has to tap in to be influenced by that elder ancestor, but they have to be strong enough not to fall for their shenanigans. And the only place you can find that strength is in pure love. That means ain't no judgment left. Yeah, my uncle was a rotten motherfucker, but that was my uncle. And I ain't gonna do the shit that he did and made him rotten either. Right? So the understanding the faculty of the ability to see them and communicate with them is determined by how well you understand it. Because you can't control what you don't understand,
right,
right? The more you can understand it, the more control you have. The more control you have, the more access, right? You might give your child a trust fund, but we say, here, first we're going to give you $20,000 when you turn 20 to see how you can handle money. Then, if you handle that well, that's going to unlock at 21 another $500,000, right? He's graduating through the understanding of the money that he didn't understand before he started using it. It's the same with the faculties of the higher senses. And it's the tools that we given to break generational curses. Study yourself and you'll answer all of the secrets of the universe for you. Because you're the secret of the universe that you keep a secret from yourself. So the whatever psychic ability you have, the more you are aware that you have it, the more you'll see it. The more you use it, the more you develop the talent, the skill. And because you've used it so many past lives, once you get it, you got it. They can't take it away. And it won't stop. Because once this, like Dick Gregory said, once the universe put these glasses on you, ain't no taking no mofos
taking
off.
them off.
Yeah. Focus the mind. Practice your whole thought process being reduced to one statement or question or sentence. You're thinking in the whole book at one time. So when you try to get a clear thought across, you're reading the whole book at the same time, all the pages. You got to learn to read one page at a time so that your communication is clearer and it's unlocking the superpower. That's the tool. So it's the training of the mind on how to use the mind that gives you more control of the mind. The more you have control of the mind, the easier and clearer you can communicate with spirit. Once you can clearly communicate with the spirit, you become a translator for the ones who can't. And a coach, once you understand it at a high enough level, a coach for you to for help other people tap into the skill set by telling them what I just told you. You don't know that you psychic until you know you psychic.
Right.
And then as soon as you realize you psychic, you say, I knew that,
Yeah.
right? It's
Yeah.
like some people have to learn how to dribble a basketball. But some people is born with the dexterity. If they see somebody dribbling the ball, now they know how to dribble the ball. They seen it one time. That's rare, but it's there, right? So because they use the faculty in past lives. So in this life, anything that requires that faculty comes with ease. You just have to train the man. It's not really training the man because the psycho mom gonna do what it want to do. It's just that you have to learn what it's doing in order to focus it. And the only way to do that is for you to write your own codex. It's your tool to translate what spirits say in terms you understand, because now you can give an expression to the feeling. Got it?
I got it.
Wanna be starting something. Got to be starting something.
That's so funny too because oh my gosh, my grandma always used to like that was her husband, the one that had passed away, and like she always used to say like me and my brothers be reminding her of him because like I really used to love like Michael Jackson so bad when I was a kid, but like we always just be like singing and dancing and stuff, and she'd be saying like that's literally like how he was, like he was just like a really sweet, like happy, like kind man. So that's funny.
They've been loving our hair textures in here. We've been getting man eat the love all through the camera.
I was about to say people always like give me compliments and stuff on my hair, and like I don't know, I guess because it's my hair, like I just
That's
be
the
like,
first thing I said to you first time we talked. I like your hair.
yeah.
Like your afro. Black girl magic on deck.
What you be saying? I put that shit on everything.
Yeah, black girl magic. I put that shit on everything. Yeah. Okay, sweetie, I'm gonna let somebody else come up now. Okay.
All right, Uncle Rob, be safe.
All right, sweetie. Chief, why not the God? This one gonna be hard, y'all, because we be having conversations sometime, and before we know it, a whole hour be done past, and I don't even know if we got a whole hour.
Yo, peace to the God. What
What's
up?
going on, my brother? What's going on?
And peace and polygamy, man. It's always a joy, man. I appreciate the energy, God.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Hey,
man, shit. And I was just finna flame up too. It's only right, man. I take a chief with the chief, man. Shout out to the chiefs, man, in the building. Peace to the gods, man. I definitely need a peer review from you, bro. I got a few things I wanna a few questions. And hopefully, we don't take up too much time because you know how we
yeah,
go, Rod.
I know. That's why I be hesitant sometimes to bring you up because I be trying to help many people, and I know how we do.
For sure, for sure. All right, so look, let's get to it. Um, I need a peer review from you from this lesson I did, on interdimensional beings. But I would rather you just do the peer review last. And let's get to the questions though. So first question on time travel. So we know scientists can travel forward in time. Now, do you know if we can travel back in time? And if we can, how does that work?
The traveling back in time is easier than traveling forward. Traveling because you got something called memory that ties to collective memory. We call collective memory Akashic records because the name of the original organizing librarian of the Akashic records was the goddess Akasha. But all it is the access codes to the collective memory to see what happened in the past. You can remote view the past. And if you know enough of the past, you can see exactly what's going to materialize as it unfolds in the future. Because the future is the mirror of the past. Now that
Right.
we break in the cycle, we at the point where we can change the past and make a new future, or become victimized by the past and doomed to repeat it.
Right, right, for sure. So definitely, I should have been more specific. So we knowing that, you know, the future and the past is merely just a thought. If I ask you what you do yesterday, we'll have to think. If I ask you what you're doing tomorrow, we will have to think. So the future and the past is merely just a thought. But however, like on a time travel forward into the future, like if you leave Earth at light speed and come back, you're gonna be
Now you're
younger than
talking
everybody on the
moving
planet.
three dimensional reality from past to future.
Right. So
That's what you're describing, right?
hold
Like
on,
your
say it again.
physical body right now, get into a craft, fly to the past, fly to the future.
Exactly.
Right. So every time when you walk to the store, every time you take a step, you step one step into the future.
Mm-hmm. What about the past?
You still got one foot in the past until you move that foot to the future.
Okay. All right.
They
Okay.
call
That
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 the
there
steps
you
of
go right there.
the steps of the grand man.
Mm,
It's the perpetual now masquerading as past and future because
mm-hmm.
none of it really exists. The paradigm of three-dimensional time travel is predicated upon the reality that you time traveling in real time,
Right. Time is an
right?
illusion, though, right?
Right. All it
Okay.
is a focal point. The focal point is required in order for three-dimensional reality to give us three-dimensional reality. When you
Okay.
step in the fourth dimension, there's no such thing as time. Everything is instantaneous now.
Mm,
But people can't grasp the mental ability of the difference because we are limited in the 3D to thinking three dimensionally.
facts.
So when we try to explain what it's like being fourth, fifth dimensional minded, living in those realities, the only reference point you have is three dimensional reality.
Right. Okay. For sure. Because we
Right?
can't perceive reality in higher dimensions.
You can perceive it, you can experience it, right? But as long as you using three dimensions as your frame of reference, it's
Logic.
still gonna
Okay.
it's still gonna look like you in the three dimensions.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha.
Earth is going into
Gotcha.
the fifth dimension, flipping out of the infinity loop, right? And going to the fifth dimension, the age of knowing, um, you are still going to have three dimensional reality. Because three dimensional reality is the backdrop by which the higher realms play out on. It's like
Mm, oh,
they projecting three dimensional reality. But to us, they watching the movie, right? But to us, we the characters in the movie, we reeled in the mofo.
mm-hmm.
But to them, we just
Right.
projections on the screen,
Right. Right. Okay. Yeah, that's
right?
deep.
That's now you have to have one dimensional base in order for three dimensions to work. Then you need a cross section, a mobile cross section that's scanning left to right. Then you
So that
need a
mo
fixed
that
position projection. The fixed
that mo
position.
that cross position would be like, would you consider that as a tesseract? Because we know that to go into higher dimensions, a
Hold on, I'm about to
tesseract
tell you
must
what
be
it is.
added.
I'm about to tell you what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So now, once you have the left-right variable covered, you need the fixed position point as a light source to illuminate everything that's being seen.
Mm,
It's called a hologram projector
mm-hmm.
in 3 dimensions. The
Right.
outside of the 3 dimensions, it is the 3 dimensions is what's making the hologram stand out based on the one-dimensional base.
Right.
This is why
Okay.
they keep saying that the Earth is flat, because they're looking at the 3 dimensional world from a fourth dimensional mind. In the mind, in the fourth dimension, the Earth is an infinite plane.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're seeing it mentally, spiritually, you don't know how to explain to people that everybody is right. It's not only is it a flat Earth in the fourth dimension, it's an infinite plane. But in the
Right.
3 dimension, it's a torsion field that gives the illusion of a globe
Mm.
in the
Kind of like
projection and the accumulation of the energy, right?
right. Kind of
And
like in
everybody's,
quantum mechanics when they got superposition, when everything can exist in multiple states simultaneously. Until we observe it, then we collapse the wave function into a single state. Kind of
yes,
like that, right? Okay.
yeah.
Super.
So when they see in the fourth dimension, they see it in its waveform. But when it
Mm.
collapses to 3 dimension, it becomes the torsion field that's collapsing into the particle.
Right. Okay. So look, before we get too deep, and I know we on time. Man, I wanted to get your perspective on deja vu, and sigils as well. But I really want you to peer review this lesson I just did on interdimensional beings. Now, real quick, just a brief on the lesson. Um, Starting off with the living and the dead is in the same space, but separated by dimension. And you was explaining something about to old girl that just left off your panel, about the daemon. You brought it up, which goes into, you feel the lesson. So basically, explaining interdimensional beings don't come from outer space. They come from this space, another dimension. So the daemon is
Thought
constellations
form.
up above, and as
It's a
above,
thought
so
form.
below.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
It's a thought form, right? It's a persistent thought form, an egregore. It's an agreed upon aberration that has to be corrected. That's the daemon. It's like you brought up sigils. A sigil is like writing an app, a spiritual